The Tipping Point with Mike Tipton is brought to you by Dubby. What is Dubby? Dubby is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like those other energy drinks have. They also have no maltodextrin fillers and don't use artificial dyes. Dubby contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. Dubby's products are made in the USA in an FDA-inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP manufacturing guidelines. All of the flavors are unique and custom-made by Dubby, and you'll never taste our taste anywhere else. The best part about it is they're affordable. Dubby's drinks come out to about $1 per drink, much cheaper than Starbucks or any of those canned energy drinks. To learn more, visit w.gg.com/MRTipton33 and place your order today. Use promo code MrTipton33 and save today. Dubby Energy, be better. What's going on, everybody? I want to tell you about my new friends over at Cleverman. Visit them online at becleverman.com. What they gave me was the energizing face and beard scrub along with the Cleverman face scrubber. And trust me when I say this, the energizing face and beard scrub smells amazing. Combining it with the face scrubber, making sure that your boy was looking as good and sexy as possible, opened up a whole different sensation in my face that I haven't ever felt before. I felt so clean, so fresh, and so clean, like Outcast said, and it helped me feel like I was ready for my day. Make sure you visit them online at becleverman.com and follow them on Instagram at clevermannyc. The link is up in my bio if you want to check out all the amazing products they have. Visit them online, becleverman.com. It is the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton. Hanging out with you here. I see I'm frozen up somehow, some way. Oh no. Let me try to get this fixed. Or maybe I can try something a little different. Let me go over here. Go over to the settings. Not looking good for your boy at the moment. Wondering if I even have audio at the time. There we go. I feel like I'm back. I was looking at myself yesterday, and it was an old version of me. Didn't like what I saw. It was gross. It was grotesque. I didn't want to be a part of it. Nonetheless, we are back here on the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton live on a Friday. It's a TIP VIP Friday. Why am I not seeing stuff that I need to be seeing to make sure that the show is actually on air? Terrified now. There it is. Maybe it just took a little while for any of this stuff to get caught up and all the stuff that we're doing. I want to give a shout out to the people that are tuned in right now over on Instagram. I see Larry B. Bolton is on, DJ Bass MK2, Munster May. Hi, DJ. Thank you so much for letting me know the audio is good. Now we got the video good, and I don't know if we want to even have the video good, right? I see that Jerry is tuned in as well. Thank you all so much for being a part of today's show, especially over there on the Instagram feed, trying to grow that Instagram feed. Trying to grow all the things that we do here with the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton. It might be too sexy in the morning for my voice, but you know what it is? We're getting this stuff working right now. Okay, so I mentioned it yesterday. It is a TIP's VIP Friday. I put out the feelers out there to get some questions, and I do have some questions to get to. But before I do any of that, I got to make sure I'm playing my imaging because I worked hard on all of this imaging. So here we go.
VIP coming live from the VIP. Heard the nightlife, lost life without me.
There it is. Look at that. TIP coming live from the VIP. The first question that I got from my dude over in Dallas, Mark E. Mix, wanted to ask the question: thoughts on the Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James beef? Oh, brother, you got me launched and ready to go here. Stephen A. Smith, LeBron James going at one another in what has to be the nerdiest and cheesiest of rivalries and battles and all of that nonsense that there could possibly be. Oh my goodness, you said something bad about my son. Oh my goodness, how dare you step up to me? Stephen A. Smith acting like a chihuahua because that's really what he is, and I shouldn't be that much of a jerk to him because he's actually a halfway decent human being. But let's be honest. Stephen A. Smith and a lot of media people that are out there seem to think that they can get away with just acting an ass, right? Like just as much as possible, they think that they can just go in there, say whatever they want, act however they want, do whatever they want, do whatever it is that they feel like they can do to any of these athletes. Say whatever they want to these athletes, and there should be zero repercussions for it, right? And I know the origins of the beef have basically started because Stephen A. Smith was like, LeBron James' son, Bronny James, doesn't deserve to be in the NBA. He's only in the NBA because of his daddy, right? If that's the case, whether or not, even if that is the case, it's a talking point for what, a couple of weeks? It can't just be the only thing you do day in, day out, trying to get your point across as, well, Bronny James doesn't belong in the NBA, so I'm going to sit here and just pound the table on this. Okay, cool. You did it. Couple of weeks. Think about that. Ever since the draft, right? So we're going back all the way to July. Ever since July, Bronny James doesn't belong in the NBA. July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. It took all the way to March. 9 months, an entire gestation period. 9 months of that being the narrative. 9 months of Stephen A. Smith constantly talking about, oh, well, the only reason Bronny James is in the NBA is because of his daddy. Okay, fine. Even if that is the case, why is it still the talking point for 9 months? Are you telling me there's no other storylines in the NBA that you can have right now? That it all has to be, oh, well, Bronny James, LeBron James, this and that. We can't talk about how great Nikola Jokic is. We can't talk about how great the story of the Oklahoma City Thunder is. We can't talk about that stuff. We have to talk about Bronny James being the guy that's in the NBA because of his dad. Who gives a damn? Like genuinely, Tim Hardaway Jr. probably got into the NBA, probably got the chance to be in college because of his dad. Scottie Pippen Jr., the same exact thing, right? Like, if you have the ability to do it, every single one of us as a parent would do it. It's just one of those weird, random-ass things where it shouldn't be the storyline. Bronny James should not be the storyline. So I can understand LeBron James's frustration with it. I can understand LeBron James being like, guys, there's got to be something else. There's got to be something else that we can be doing right now. There's got to be something else that we can talk about. Why is it? I got to share something out here. Apparently, one of the streams is not working, as it always seems to be. I don't know what it is. I'm getting some issues with me just going live right now. I don't say any controversial stuff, so I don't know how that can be what happens here. Is all of a sudden I'm just like, I don't know. It's frustrating. I'm getting tired of technology where it's just not working for whatever reason. Okay, so nonetheless, and I want to give a shout out to Sonia Pearson, who is sharing the live, doing all that stuff right now. I'm having a bad day with technology, y'all. I genuinely am. I am glad that the commercials were able to play. So shout out to Dubby. Shout out to Cleverman. I did my beard dye the other day, and I've got to put up that video of the beard dye from my people over at Cleverman. Awesome product. I think I'm going to do it one more time because why not? What I really wanted to do with the beard was go full on Hulk Hogan, right? Where like all this is just jet black, and then dye like the mustache area blonde, and I can be like, now let me tell you all something, brothers. Let me tell you something, sister, brother. Right, like just doing all that stuff. That's really the way that I wanted all of it to go. Tommy Cananza saying, good morning, Tip. Prim and Proper Sports, sharing it to her page. I appreciate that so much. Thank you very much. But that's where I wanted to go. The beard dye, thanks to my people over at Cleverman, just super jet black. And then, now let me tell you something, Mean Gene. When you see the 24-inch pythons and they get wrapped around your neck. And then I could get booed at by hundreds of thousands of people. Tommy Cananza saying that's the Hulk voice all the way. Oh yeah, no, that's one of the ones that I've been working on. What you gonna do, brother, when them 24-inch pythons run wild on you? We're not making any snake references today, Sonia. We're not doing the snake references today. My guy, B Skrilla, coming in saying from one ass cheek, three toes. That's a great name. One ass cheek, three toes. I'm not going to say that. It's too early in the morning for my nonsense. Y'all already know how this goes. Y'all already know whenever I get going, it just winds up becoming a whole different area. It just winds up being something completely different. Shout out to the people tuned in all over the place. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. DJ Bass MK2 saying that's pretty good. I think what it is, right? Like it's early in the morning. I haven't done like my voice warm-up routine. I'm still drinking water and coffee at the same time. I've always wanted to do one of those like just cheesy wrestling promos. And I think that's going to be what happens coming up next on one of the shows. And y'all can see the stuff behind me, right? Like I got the wrestling belts. I got all this stuff. I got the NWO picture over here, right? I am a huge wrestling nerd, and I am good with it. I am good with it. J Train saying, I want all my little Hulkamaniacs to drink their milk and eat their vitamins, brother. Just not the vitamins I took. Oh, well, I don't know what vitamins. Sonia Pearson saying, let's go Duke. Duke. Anytime I see someone spell Duke like that, like the long U's, I think of old boy from the Jacksonville Jaguars, their new coach, where he did the Duval wrong, where it's Duval, right? And he was like, Duval. It was just weird. All of it was weird. We got far off from what the original question was. The original question, starting us off on the TIP VIP Friday, was from Marky Mix over on Instagram. He asked about the LeBron James Stephen A beef. Man, it's just once again, I'm telling y'all, it's a reporter who has gotten away with being able to say whatever it is that he wants to say, going head to head against the golden child of the NBA and LeBron James. And let's face it, if it came down to actual, fisticuffs, we got fists flying all over the place. If it came down to that, LeBron James would work Stephen A. Smith, right? He's 6'9", 280. Maybe that's what we got to do. We got to do like the tail of the tape type thing. Like we got to have the boxing, like gimmick right there, where it's you got them doing their boxing pose and they're just like this, staring each other down. And it's like LeBron James, 6'9", 280 pounds, 49-inch vertical jump. Stephen A. Smith, 6'2", 180 pounds, soaking wet. Terrible basketball shot. And I'm saying that, like, and I like Stephen A. Smith. Don't get me wrong. I'm not out here hating on Stephen A. Smith. Whenever I worked at ESPN, he was one of the nicest people that I met. It's just there comes a point in time, right? Like the conversation just can't always be LeBron James's kid. It can't always be LeBron James's kid. Tommy Canazza saying Stephen A would smack him and LeBron would flop to the floor. What are you talking about, Tip? Wow. And that would be, it would just be like a little hit and LeBron just falls back. A referee would come out with a whistle, charge on Stephen A. Smith. Is that what would happen? I kind of want this scenario now. I need I've got all of my but like all of my tools to be able to like draw and do all that stuff, like do animation stuff. I think I might do that. I think I'll do a Stephen A. Smith, LeBron James fight animation where Stephen A. slaps LeBron and he just falls and flops to the floor. I'll mention it one more time. My favorite Stephen A. Smith story from whenever I worked over at ESPN. There was a guy, a kid, a new guy, always trying to make a name for yourself, especially whenever you show up to that type of place, right? Trying to make a name for himself, trying to do all that. And I sit back and, you know, I'm in the screening room, which means I'm getting highlights. I'm trying to get ready for a show. I was producing Sports Center all night at the time, and we record like the first hour and just kind of play it back and forth, right? And the janitors come over to me and they start talking to me in Spanish about if they should open this door. And I look and I see the kid there and he's like, oh no, like people said that I can do this, right? Like people said that I can do this. And I'm like, all right, well, if the higher up said that you can get into that office, cool. Then you can get into that office. I got a show I need to worry about. I can't be out here wasting time, right? Goes on by. This is like around Super Bowl time. Stephen A. Smith isn't there. It's his office. He's not there. I figured it was just dropping something off for him, right? Well, fast forward to a couple of days later, Stephen A. Smith comes back and he comes charging into the production studio, and he's got an ID card, and he just simply says, "Who is this man?" And all of us are looking and we're like, "Oh, okay, well, we know who that is. That kid's in trouble." Like that's what that means. That kid is in trouble. It turns out what he had been doing, this kid, was he was going into Stephen A. Smith's office because Stephen A. Smith had a couch in his office, and because he didn't want to leave the ESPN campus, he was falling asleep on Stephen A. Smith's couch in his office, which is, to me, a weird violation, a weird way of doing things. I don't think that I would be that type of person. I don't think I would be that so willing to be out there doing that type of stuff. But damn. I can't stand Braun or Stephen A. They cancel each other out. That's what Sonia Pearson says. She says, "You there?" I hope I'm here. I still see I'm here. I'm moving around. Oh no, I'm terrified now. One ass cheek, three toes saying, "Excuse me, what up, though? What up with it? What's good with it?" The J Train Express saying, with being paid $100 million, LeBron and Bronny are the subject matter for Stephen A. Smith. I get it, right? Like Stephen, like he found his niche, right? Like that's what it is. I'm all about it, man. Like if that's what you got to do to get your money, that's what you got to do to get your money. I am 100% with it. All right. We are going to continue on here. Next question on the TIP VIP Friday. Put out the questions on social media yesterday. I'm just filibustering until I can find out where the hell all these damn questions are, so I can get some of them answered.
VIP coming live from the VIP. Heard the nightlife, lost life without me.
I'm gonna keep playing that every time we get in between some of the questions and the answers here. It's a TIP VIP Friday, baby. You know TIP is coming live from the VIP. Mireya Reyes asking me, will Aaron Rodgers end up as a Dallas Cowboy? No, he will not. And then she says, if he does, if Aaron Rodgers ends up as a Dallas Cowboy, Prim and Proper Sports saying, you're good. You're just reading for a little while. Look, I'm slow, okay? Even though I got glasses, I'm still blind as all hell. I can't read, man. I don't read good. I graduated from Socorro High School in El Paso, Texas. We do not put a premium on reading. Will Aaron Rodgers be a Dallas Cowboy? The answer to that question is going to be no. But if the hypothetical were to happen, what would I do as a Dallas Cowboys fan if Aaron Rodgers, one of the people that I loathe in this world, if Aaron Rodgers became the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, what would I do? I would support my team, and I would hate every damn second of it as he is my quarterback, much like what I do right now. Much like what I do right now. I like Dak as a person. Dak is an amazing human being. But all I can think about with Dak Prescott are 2 plays in the playoffs. Sliding with 1 second left, which is the dumbest GD thing I have ever seen. The Dallas Cowboys inventing new ways to lose. Sliding, oh, God, with 1 second left against the San Francisco 49ers. And then that weird play where they put Zeke Elliott at center to hike the ball with no other offensive linemen around him to Dak Prescott. I hate that I love that team. Adding Aaron Rodgers to the mix would just solidify that I hate that I love this team. I cheer for laundry, basically, right? I cheer for the flag of the Dallas Cowboys, and I hate that I do that every damn second. Now, the one good thing to this, if Aaron Rodgers were to somehow, some way become a Dallas Cowboy, the one good thing about this would be the chaos that it creates, baby. Then you know me. I am an agent of chaos. I want all the chaos. The Cricket Commish saying, what's the best way to talk to you about the possibility of collaborating? Get at me at any of my social medias. I'll follow you back here, Cricket Commish. Maybe we can start talking. That would be at Mr. Tipton 33. At Mr. Tipton 33 on all social media platforms. You want it on LinkedIn. You want it on TikTok. You want it on Twitter, on Instagram, on Blue Sky, whatever it is. At Mr. Tipton 33, Facebook, all over the place. You can find me there. You can find me there. I will be a happy, happy man. And I'm always down for any type of collaborations. Anytime you all want to do something. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and do this. I do this on Bob, Jim, and Pat Get Drunk on the Internet, so I might as well do it right here, too. I'm going to go ahead and just post up the link. I'll put the link in the comment section. You want to join the show? I've got what? I got another 40 or 37 minutes. I'm bad at math. I graduated from Socorro High School. I already told you all that. One ass cheek, 3 toes saying, oh, hell no. That's the last thing the Dallas Cowboys need. I agree. I agree. But it's also the Dallas Cowboys circus. I assure you, I would not put anything past the Dallas Cowboys going out here and just acting a fool. J-Train Express saying, Tip, there are NFL rumors of Dak Prescott trade to the Browns. Have you heard this? I have heard this. And I don't know, J-Train, if that's something that I want to put any stock into, right? Like, if you're Dak Prescott, you have a no-trade clause. That means you would have to waive your no-trade clause to go join the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns aren't going to be the franchise that Dak Prescott goes to that's going to get him closer to a Super Bowl than what Dallas is right now, right? Like, there's very few, like, again, and I'm not saying Dallas is good, but I'm just saying there are always the possibilities of there being a few teams, just a small handful of teams, the Browns, the Carolina Panthers, the Tennessee Titans, maybe the Jaguars, like teams that are just bad. And I'm not taking a shot at you, Sonia. Don't look at it that way, please. But teams that are just bad, it's taking a step back, right? Like, if you're Dak Prescott, why would you waive the no-trade clause to take a step back to go to a Cleveland team that's just not anywhere near where you need it to be, right? Now, obviously, money speaks. And if Cleveland is willing to go out there and give insane money to Deshaun Watson, who's not going to play any games for him, they might do the same for Dak Prescott. I just don't see a scenario where Dak Prescott gets moved to Cleveland. Like, it would have to take so much for it to happen. Tommy Cananza saying Dak has a no-trade clause. There's no way in hell he agrees to drop it to go to the Browns. Tommy Cananza also saying, if Abdul Carter slips in the draft, how far do you think he drops? Oof. That's a great question. Let me go ahead and bring up my 2025 NFL draft. I told y'all that I am working on my own mock draft. I only do one. I'm not one of these dudes that comes out and is like, oh my goodness, look at my mock draft 19.742, right? Like, we're not going to be doing that stuff. If Abdul Carter slips in the draft, I honestly don't see him going further than like the top 7, maybe, right? Like, we saw that's a great pass rusher, and any team can use a great pass rusher. I could even see a scenario if the Giants stay at number 3, where they decide, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're gonna draft him, because honestly, like I told you all, I don't think the Giants are taking a quarterback this year. I genuinely do not think that the Giants are taking a quarterback this year. All right, looking that up. The Crooked Commish asking, would you be happy? Would you be happy if the Dallas Cowboys drafted Golden? Would I be happy if the Dallas Cowboys drafted Matthew Golden? I would be, right? Because I feel like the Dallas Cowboys need another receiver. They only have the one with CeeDee Lamb. Do you trust, like Kevontae Turpin, we've seen, like, that's not really a receiver, right? Like, that's a guy that's a great punt returner. That's a guy that you can have that's a threat for a downfield, just run the go route and let's see how it goes. I think the Dallas Cowboys need another receiver. Now, whether or not they get that in free agency, like, there's still the possibility, maybe, just maybe, the Cowboys do something. They sign Amari Cooper, and Amari Cooper can kind of come back to Dallas, where he had a ton of success with Dak Prescott, with CeeDee Lamb on the other side. Maybe, just maybe, there's a scenario there. But if it's not an offensive lineman or a defensive lineman, then it has to be someone that can go in and change the game for you. Like right, it has to be like an Ashton Genty type, like Kevin Davis has mentioned here in a little bit. I'll get to that in just a little bit. If I'm the Dallas Cowboys, I cannot afford to miss on anyone. And do you think that Golden is going to be the guy that you don't miss? Like is he you draft him well ahead of where he's projected to go? You better hit with that guy, right? Unless you're expecting him to drop further in the second round, which I just don't see. Wide receiver is a premium position. I also don't see the Dallas Cowboys stretching to get a wide receiver that you can probably get in the second round, possibly, and drafting him with the first round pick. Kevin Davis saying Ashton Genty is the correct choice at running back. That's what I would say, right? Now, there is a possibility here that the Vegas Raiders, because I do think that if Ashton Genty's there, I mean, maybe, right? Like maybe. There's always the maybe probability here. If Ashton Genty doesn't go to the Raiders, the Jets aren't going to take him because they have themselves some pretty good running backs as well. I don't think Carolina's going to take him because you just signed Rico Dowdle. You got Chuba Hubbard. I like that combination of running backs there. Maybe Chicago and New Orleans would take him. What are you going to do? Alvin Kamara coming up at the end. You know what I mean? Like, that's going to be that's going to be the thing, right? I think that right there, that, like, if you can get Ashton Genty, if you're the Dallas Cowboys and you can get Ashton Genty, which again is very unlikely. Want to give a shout out to some people that I see tuned in over on Instagram. Tyler Mallon, thank you so much for joining. Call me Royalty88. Thank you so much for joining in. Charles Johnson 507. Mike Bisaka, thank you. Amber Bonda 915. Thank you, Amber, for joining in. Remember, if you're in the El Paso area, you can tune into her, as she is going to be on 96.3 K-Hay Country, where I used to work as well. Yes, even I worked at a country station. Look at that. Give her some love. Shout out over there. Remember, it's a TIP VIP Friday. You got questions, I got answers. You might not agree with the answer, just like J-Train is telling me right now. I wholeheartedly, respectfully disagree. Sanders to the Giants all the way, unless, here's our caveat, unless he goes to Cleveland. Oh, man. Again, like, I think the biggest domino here, is what does Tennessee do with the number 1 overall pick? Now, I'm already on record saying I want them to draft Travis Hunter. I think out of this draft, Travis Hunter is going to be one of the guys that we're talking about 10 years down the road from now, right? Like, Travis Hunter is that dude. He's that kind of guy. So I can see Travis Hunter doing it. But if they trade out of that pick, it's going to be to a team that's going to want a quarterback. So there's the possibility that, one, that team drafts Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders, or two, Cleveland is going to draft Shedeur Sanders, which I can see that possibility as well, right? Like, I don't want to say that it's locked in stone. I really don't, because now that the Giants have both Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston, and they're just out here eating W's together, Mr. Unlimited is out here eating donuts or eating dubs with a guy that's just happy to play in some snow. I feel so weird because, like, I just saw an influx of people join in on Instagram, and it showed me eating the W's on Instagram is like the first thing that they see. That's got to be one of the weirdest introductions that anybody has ever made in the history of introductions. And I'm all about awkward ass introductions, guys. Tallboy _6, I see you, buddy. And I can see a scenario where the Giants trade that number 3 pick, stockpile draft picks, and Shedeur Sanders doesn't go to the Giants at number 3. Right? Like, I can genuinely see that. Now, I agree with you. If I'm the Giants, I've got to look into taking a quarterback in the next couple of years. But I also see that there are other quarterbacks higher rated in next year's draft than Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders are right now. Right? Like, maybe I'm just tanking for Arch. And look at the storyline there. Eli's nephew as the quarterback of the New York Giants. Tell me that the New York tabloids and like the market out there would not just inject that into their veins. So I can see a possibility where the Giants say, look, we know we're going to be bad. Let's get that number 1 overall pick. We're tanking. Let's see how it goes. Good morning over to you. Hope that y'all are doing well here on a TIP VIP Friday. Tommy Cananza talking about the Dallas Cowboys, saying they need to hit a home run with that 12th overall pick. He would love Ashton Genty, but he doesn't think that he would be there as well. J-Train solidifying that he loves himself a little Matthew Golden. The film doesn't lie, right? Like, the film doesn't lie. And then whenever you can prove it at the combine too, you're doing something good. My guy, Marky Mix, tuning in late, missed. He already missed where I talked about the Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James beef. That's what I started the show with, my guy. I told you, first question, that's what it was going to be. I told you that. This guy coming out here, a disappointment, much like I am to my family. I love saying that because it's true. J-Train coming off the top rope. Omarion Hampton, greater than Ashton Genty. Blasphemous, right? I don't know if we can call that blasphemous, man. I think there's a real, especially like situational, right? Like, running backs in the NFL, they always tend to just be based and predicated upon the situation that they are drafted into. And I can see a situation where it kind of, you know, where Hampton goes, he's probably going to get a better offensive line than Vegas with the Raiders, right? Like, there's a real possibility that Hampton could be the better of the running backs. And that's one of the things that Tommy and I were talking about. If I'm the Cowboys, I'm looking offensive, defensive line, right? Like, I know it's not sexy. Big, beefy men slapping meat against bigger, beefy men. Now, let me tell you something, brother. When I get my arms around those big, beefy men, it is too damn early in the morning for this nonsense. If the Dallas Cowboys do that, they address the offensive or defensive line, and then they go out and they get Hampton in the second round, right? Which, again, there's a real possibility here. There are projections right now that I see that he can be drafted as early as number 20 to the Denver Broncos. I don't know if I necessarily believe that. J Train saying, pause, Hulk. Whoa, Hulk. Take a step back, brother. Take a step back. It'll be all right. Take us just a little step back, Hulk. All you little Hulkamaniacs out there. No, not with that one, Hulk. Calm down. Jesus Christ. I think it's one of those things where like the people who don't necessarily know me that see how I am as a person. Like this is imagine that you have to deal with this all day, every single day. It would be a nightmare. J Train blasphemous, but I wouldn't be mad at it. A Hampton pick of the Cowboys if the Cowboys trade down and get more picks out of it. I'm down with it too. J Train agreeing with Tommy Carranza and saying the Giants are taking a quarterback this year. They have to. Beastrilla saying, why do they need a quarterback this year? They have a quarterback, right? Like the Russell Wilson contract, it's a weird contract, but you got him for basically 2 years. The same thing with Jameis Winston. So, I mean, you don't necessarily need a quarterback right now. And if you're not completely sold on either Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders at that high, why not trade down? Maybe, okay, cool. Maybe you take Jackson Dart. Maybe you take Quinn Ewers, right? You give your fan base a little something, just a little something to be like, oh, look, they're looking for the future. Maybe just a little something. But why not just go all the way as I trademarked a couple of weeks ago here on the show? Why not be awful for Arch? And look at the storyline that creates. The nephew of the greatest quarterback in New York Giants history, which is weird to say that because Eli Manning was riding the short bus his entire career. That was unnecessary. The greatest quarterback of your franchise's history, his nephew gets to be a part of your team. Why wouldn't you try to do that? Right? Like, even if they came out and they told their fan base, look, we're going to be awful for Arch, I think the fan base would be like, you know what? We're not winning the division this year anyway. J-Train saying Russell is a bridge quarterback and Jameis is the backup. Get Sanders and sit him. Don't be the team that makes a mistake and not draft a franchise quarterback. But like I hear that. I hear that. Like I agree with that. But we were also saying that 2 years ago about CJ Stroud and Bryce Young. Bryce Young was washed. He's never going to be a quarterback in the NFL. Look how he ended the season, right? People would say after being benched for Andy Dalton of all people, once that happened, there was always the fire. Like that fire was lit under Bryce Young. And he had what I would say was a better end of the season than what CJ Stroud had. Right? Like, yeah, the Panthers weren't doing anything. They were playing in front of 5 people and the tickets were on sale for 25 cents each. But you could see the makings of a better quarterback there. And all of the season previously, it was, oh my Lord, oh my God. I can't believe the Panthers didn't take CJ Stroud. How can they go and get Bryce Young? Well, now that narrative is kind of flipping, right? And it's the same thing. Okay, well, Trevor Lawrence, that was a can't miss dude. What has he done in Jacksonville? Right? People thinking about the Bo Nix thing. How could you draft Bo Nix that high? He's goofy. And there you go. Kevin Davis saying the Panthers tickets were going buy one, get one free. Man, it was more than that. It was like buy one, you can get a whole aisle to yourself free. Just bring a friend. We need someone to buy something, please, just for the love of God. I'm surprised they weren't just like handing out tickets, right? Like you're in downtown Charlotte. I'm just handing out tickets. You want to come to a Panthers game? I'm printing out 900,000 tickets a day, and I'm giving them to people. I'm just like, please get in there and buy a beer or two. Maybe just something. It's better than like having all this empty stadium. Maybe. Marky Mick saying they were paying people to go to those games. Damn. Everyone coming out here after the Panthers, my apologies. I didn't mean it that way. Tommy Cananza saying they're drafting in the top 5. They need to come out of this horrible season with a quarterback. There's no guarantee they're bad enough to draft Archie next year. There's not a guarantee that they're bad enough to draft Arch, but you know what you can do? You can make some trades, right? And again, I think even if they're a middle of the road team, right? Let's say they win 6 games next year and they're drafting number 10 or whatever. You trade that 10th pick along with some other picks. You get Arch Manning. I'm pretty sure all of the fan base, all the people out there, they wouldn't be like, how could you make that terrible trade? In hindsight, they might think that way. But in the moment, they're going to be like, that right there, that's a fantastic trade. You're doing what it takes to build for the future. I like what you guys are doing, Brian Daboll. You're a fantastic coach. Because you have to, like there has to be. You have to look one day, look in the mirror, right? Like with me. I woke up one day, I looked in the mirror and said, 1, that's a sexy man right there. 2, that sexy man needs to lose some weight because there's too much of this sexy man right now. I did a self-assessment. That's what the Giants have to do, right? Like you got to look yourself in the mirror, look at the stuff that's surrounding you. I'm not better than Philadelphia. I'm not better than Washington. I might be the Spider-Man meme pointing right at the Dallas Cowboys or like in Toy Story, where Forky's being carried by Woody, and he looks him in the eyes and he says, you're just like me. Trash. That's the Dallas Cowboys and the Giants. They're looking right down at each other. You're just like me. You're trash. I don't, but like you got to look in the mirror and realize where you are. I don't think drafting Shedeur Sanders changes the trajectory of this franchise. But I'm also the type of guy, I don't like seeing a quarterback drafted to like the Browns or the Titans or a team that's bad because you're drafting in that position because you're so bad. The quarterback isn't going to go in there and fix it. The worst thing for Shedeur Sanders' career would be to go to the Giants the way that they are currently constructed right now. Because if he fails, it's going to be so much easier to get rid of him because as we've seen in the new NFL, right? We've seen it a ton of times where you can draft a quarterback real high and then just get rid of his ass, right? Arizona, whenever they got Kyler Murray. One Ash Cheek 3 saying, this is the new NFL, J-Train. That ain't going to happen. J-Train saying, Bryce was always a carbon copy of Drew Brees to me. He has the stuff to be great. I'm looking for it. This should show y'all how much of a wrestling nerd I am. On Bob, Jim, and Pat, we have Buff Bagwell as the guy that does our show introduction. Maybe I can play that real quick. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but just so y'all can see, we have our mascot. He's buff, and he's got the stuff.
I am buff. I am the stuff, and the girls just can't get enough.
Anytime someone says he's got the stuff, that's exactly where I go. I go to some Buff Bagwell, just going walking down the aisle at WCW, hitting them with the flex, and then going on his happy little way. Oh, man. Love me some Buff Bagwell. Thank you, J-Train, for allowing me to play the Buff Bagwell intro for Bob, Jim, and Pat getting drunk on the internet. People laughing at me, I'm pretty sure it's because of me calling myself a sexy fat man that needed to be a less sexy, or there needed to be less of me to be sexy, I guess, is what it might have been. J-Train saying, stop the presses with Arch. He has yet to play a full season. His name is what's giving him the presumption of being a high draft pick in 2026. I agree with you 100% on that. Right? It's all about name recognition. But you will placate to your fan base, and your fan base would be happy with that, right? Again, 99% of the time in sports, it's all transactional. It's all a transaction. I hope I'm not breaking anybody's heart right here and pulling the curtain too far back, but it's a transaction. We give the team money. They give us hope. That's all it is, right? Like factoring, trafficking in hope. Maybe, just maybe, my team will be good enough for me to not hate my team so much, right? And by proxy, hate myself for loving this team, right? Or maybe that's just me as a Dallas Cowboys fan, where I look in the mirror and I see me wearing like a Cowboys stuff, and I feel like that meme of the person turning into a clown. I feel like that's how I am at the beginning of every single damn Dallas Cowboys season. I'm in a good mood, and then I just turn into a clown by the time December rolls around. Thank you, Dallas. You have made me bipolar. Sorry, the voices in my head were telling me that I need to love the Dallas Cowboys. But I agree with you, right? Like it's all about name recognition. But if you're the Giants and you draft Arch Manning, then you've got that going on as well. I am trying to. I got to figure out what that is. I'm sorry, Midea. I don't know what it is that you're talking about. So if you can expound upon your question, can you please explain that using that a concrete example? If you can, please expound upon it for me. Kevin Davis saying, is Micah Parsons a Cowboy in 2026? Yes. Just flatly, yes. There's no way. Well, I can't say that because it's the Dallas Cowboys and they tend to do crazy stuff. Jerry Jones and I, we've been hanging out too much on yachts together, having ourselves a good old fun time. That's a joke. Please don't take that seriously. Maybe it's not. The Dallas Cowboys are known to do crazy stuff. I just don't see them letting one franchise defensive end walk without signing the other defensive end to a long-term contract. Like, I feel like the Dallas Cowboys are going to have to sign and genuinely want to sign Micah Parsons to a long-term deal. I can see him being a Cowboy for the next few, for like the next few years as a Dallas Cowboy. Tommy Cananza saying, as a Cowboys fan, that's why I want Sanders to go to New York. I agree with you, right? Like, as a Cowboys fan, yes, but I have to remove myself as a Cowboys fan and then think of myself as like a human being. I don't want to see some dude's career come to an end at the start of it because the New York Giants are inept, right? Like, they are the erectile dysfunction of the NFL. Is it? Oh my God, I'm terrible at this. I apologize, guys. One ass cheek, three toes, but J-Train, isn't that what's going on with Sanders right now? And she's saying that I did the transaction versus hope, right? Like that's exactly what it is. Most of the time, we come into the season excited, like as fans. It doesn't matter what our team is. We're going to be better than next year, or we can be just as good as next year. We're more than likely not going to take a step back, right? Like, that's how a lot of us think, is our team is going to be better. And that's all we want, is just better. And then you see what the team puts out there, right? Like, if you're a Cleveland Browns fan, you're excited about the season because you just want football to be back. We've been missing it. It's our drug. It's what we're addicted to. We just need football in our veins. Not the UFL, though, because no one cares about those teams. But we need something, just something, a little glimmer of hope. Man, the Cleveland Browns drafted at number 2. They got someone I like. Now I can feel better about myself. And then whenever I see what they have on the field, that's whenever I realize, oh, crap. Yeah, they're terrible. How do I, what's my concrete example of that? The Dallas Cowboys. I said before the season started, this was a team that was going to miss the playoffs. I thought they were going to be a 10-7, maybe 9-8 type team and miss the playoffs. I didn't like the way that they were constructed. And what happens? They missed the playoffs. That was still my mindset, and I still had hope, and I still got let down in my transaction here. Tommy Carranza saying, I can see it. The Cowboys do some dumb stuff. They do. 100% they do. I wouldn't be surprised if the Dallas Cowboys let everybody walk away. And then he's saying, why? Just be a hater, Mike. Hate. Let the darkness flow through you. And hate on Shedeur Sanders and the possibility that he can be getting slapped around by Micah Parsons just week after week after week. I saw Luka Doncic get traded to LA. He's a Mavericks fan, y'all. It wouldn't surprise me if the Cowboys ship Micah Parsons somewhere. I mean, it would. I wouldn't be surprised if the Dallas Cowboys wind up trading Micah Parsons to like Philadelphia for a future 6th round pick and considerations of like $200.52. Right? Like, I can genuinely see the Dallas Cowboys doing something that stupid. Why? Because they're the Dallas Cowboys and they're constantly doing stupid stuff, constantly letting us down. I hate that I love this team. You can get that shirt on tiptonsports.com. Mireya saying, wow, Tommy is seeing the light. There's a light right there at the end of the tunnel, Tommy. And in our experience, it's a light shaped like a star that runs you over because it's an effing freight train of disappointment. The Dallas Cowboys, the conveyor belt of disappointment that they continue to be. Man, it was good here. It's been good so far here on a TIP VIP Friday. I'm digging it. Thank you all so much for being a part of today's show. As y'all know, you want to get at me, you can do so on Twitter at Mr. Tipton33, or on X rather, at Mr. Tipton33 on all social medias. We're hitting it again.
VIP, coming live from the VIP. Heard the nightlife, lost life without me.
Oli Arenas over on Facebook asking, is Jerry Jones ever going to step down from the GM position? What does him staying with the Dallas Cowboys mean for our boys in blue? He will never, ever, ever step down as the general manager of the Dallas Cowboys. That's just not ever going to happen. The man has to die. I hate to say it that way. He has to die before he steps down as the GM of the Dallas Cowboys. What it means, it's going to be more of the same, right? There is the possibility, right? A blind squirrel finds a nut. A broken clock is right twice a day. The sun shines on a dog's ass every now and again. The Dallas Cowboys could be that dog's ass. They could be. But with Jerry Jones at the helm, there's a possibility the sun's about to shine on his ass and he brings out an umbrella to make sure that it stays nice and pasty and no tan lines whatsoever. I hate that I love this team, but he will never step down as the GM of the Dallas Cowboys. Mireya asking, I asked you a couple of questions yesterday. Did you answer them? Yes, Mireya, I did. I had mentioned the what if Aaron Rodgers became a Dallas Cowboy. Oh, God, I almost threw up. That was gross. Just even the thought process of Aaron Rodgers and his goofy face being in a Dallas Cowboys uniform sounds so disgusting to me. And what would I do? I would love the team. I would support the team. His success is ultimately my team's success, but I would hate every minute of it, much like I do now. Absolutely nothing would change. I watch the Dallas Cowboys expecting disappointment, and they always disappoint me more than I was even expecting to be disappointed. Tommy Canazza saying, I've always seen the light, but I'm a diehard fan. I just slip on them shades. Hey, yo, the future's so bright, I gots to wear shades. How old do you have to be to get that reference? Kevin Davies saying, how many wins will the Cowboys have in 2025? Ooh, that's a good one. I know this is probably not the answer you want to hear from me right now, Kevin. I got to look at the schedule, and what I'll do is I'll come back to you on Monday. So on Monday, after I look at the schedule, after I dry my tears, after I've had an insane amount of alcohol to deal with what the Dallas Cowboys do to me on a regular basis, as I'm getting ready to eat steak on Monday afternoon, I will have a clearer mind to be able to get you to know what I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to be. Because if you ask me right now, I am euphoric. I am in hope. I need to remove myself from that hope because I'm saying, look, my guy, they're going 17-0. And then there's a part of me that's saying, no, my guy, they're going 0-17, baby. We'll have to see. Mireya saying she thinks it's going to be 7. Tommy flexing at 13. One ass cheek saying, Mike, I love to hate my Cowboys. Nope, I hate that I love them. I hate that I love them. I genuinely do. J Train saying, ass cheeks, ass cheeks, your take is ass cheeks. Sanders played well. You could have been like, ass, that take was cheeks. Or cheeks, that take was ass. It would have been so much better that way. Come on now. But I'm also a certified hater. Me and the Haters Club. Hate. Oh, man. If you get that Chappelle Show reference, you and I can be friends. We can really be friends. Bug Nasty? I'm not going to do it. That's one of my favorite skits of all time. Sometimes you got to wear underwear with D holes in them. And on that note, I think it's a good time to end the show, y'all. Look, it's Friday. I appreciate y'all being a part of the show. 190 people watching today. Look at that. I am impressed by those numbers. I'm not saying it, Tommy. I am not saying it. Maybe I will. Why is it that every time you touch yourself, it's like black on black crime? Buck nasty. I am sorry, Roku. I haven't said it all day today. I am sorry. I'm not. I am who I am. You signed up for this. You got it. I appreciate the love, y'all. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. We will be back on Monday. We're going to talk about the NCAA tournament. We're going to be having a good old time. I will catch you all on the flip side. Be sure to tune in to Prim and Proper Sports tonight, Friday night with the fellas. I won't be a part of it because I got some El Paso Chihuahua stuff that I got to be covering. I want to give a shout out to the El Paso Chihuahuas once again for getting me credentialed. It's going to be a fun time this season. I am looking forward to it. Go out to the ballpark and fetch some fun. I will see you all later on.